What makes a movie moment stick with you forever? Sometimes it's not just the script or the acting. It's a genuine bond you just can't fake. A connection that's literally in their DNA. We've all seen performances that feel so real, so authentic, that we can't help but be moved. But what if that authenticity isn't just an actor's skill? What if it's the product of a lifetime of shared history, inside jokes, and a love that exists long after the director yells, "Cut"? Today, we're looking at the iconic real-life father-son pairs who brought their genuine family dynamics to the screen, creating some of the most memorable performances in Hollywood history. From the undeniable chemistry of the Smiths to the comedic genius of the Levys, this is how a family bond creates movie magic. We'll explore the blockbusters, the passion projects, and the award-winning triumphs that prove some roles can't just be played, they have to be lived. We'll start with a duo whose on-screen debut together was an instant classic, a story of struggle and hope that felt incredibly real, because, in many ways, it was. I'm talking, of course, about Will Smith and his son, Jaden Smith, in the 2006 film The Pursuit of Happyness. In the movie, Will Smith gives an incredible performance as Chris Gardner, a man fighting homelessness while trying to build a future for his son. And playing that son? An 8-year-old Jaden in his very first feature film. This wasn't just some cute casting gimmick, it was the film's secret weapon. The natural ease, the unconditional trust, and the quiet, loving glances between them weren't just good acting. It was a father and son being a father and son, just set against a heartbreaking story. Critics praised Jaden's naturalism, his ability to just be in a scene without the usual self-consciousness of a child actor. That wasn't a skill he learned in an acting class. It was the simple comfort of being held in his real father's arms. The weight of the world on Will's character felt that much heavier because the boy he was protecting was truly his own. Their collaboration was a huge box office success, and the world became fascinated with the Smith family dynasty. So, naturally, they teamed up again. In 2013, they starred in The M, Night Shyamalan's sci-fi epic After Earth. This time, the dynamic was totally different. Will played a stern, emotionally distant general, with Jaden as his son, a young cadet desperate for his father's approval. The film dives into themes of legacy and expectation ideas that feel especially relevant for a celebrity kid trying to make their own way. While After Earth didn't land with audiences or critics, it offers a fascinating contrast to their first film. It showed they were willing to explore a much tougher, more fractured relationship. In a way, it's a powerful commentary on the whole Nepo baby phenomenon. Even with a world-famous father and all the opportunity that brings, the journey to prove yourself is still a dangerous one. Together, these two films show how a real-life bond can create incredible on-screen warmth, and how that same bond can be used to explore the immense pressure of a father's legacy. Next up, we have a duo who didn't just share the screen, they built the whole world around them. They proved that a father-son partnership could be not only the heart of a show, but its entire creative engine. This is the story of Eugene and Dan Levy, and the little show that could, Schitt's Creek. When Schitt's Creek premiered in 2015, Eugene Levy was already a comedy legend. His son Dan was known in Canada as a TV host, but was pretty new to international audiences. Together, they co-created the series about a rich family that loses everything and has to move to a small town they once bought as a joke. Eugene played Johnny Rose, the patriarch trying to hold his family together. Dan played his son David, a character whose pansexual identity, high fashion looks, and sardonic wit became instantly iconic. The relationship between Johnny and David is the quiet, beating heart of the show. It's a masterclass in subtlety. There are no big speeches or dramatic fights. Instead, their love is shown in small, perfectly observed moments. Johnny's fumbling but sincere attempts to understand David's world, and David's slow, reluctant acceptance of his father's unconditional support. The show slowly grew from a cult favorite into a global phenomenon. Its final season made history at the Emmy Awards, sweeping all 7 major comedy categories. In a truly special moment, both Eugene and Dan won Emmys for their roles that night. Their partnership redefined what a family collaboration could be, proving that when creative genius runs in the family, the results can be simply the best. From a modern success story, we turn to a true Hollywood dynasty, a name that's been synonymous with stardom for over 70 years. The Douglas family legacy is a towering story of talent, ambition, and the long shadow a father can cast. Kirk Douglas was one of the last lions of Hollywood's golden age, a powerhouse actor who clawed his way to the top from nothing. His son Michael didn't just inherit the famous chin, he inherited the ambition, but their relationship was complicated. Michael has said that growing up, he felt distant from his famous, often absent father. It was only when Michael started acting himself that they began to connect. He first made his own mark not as an actor, but as a producer, winning a Best Picture Oscar for One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, a project his father had wanted to star in but was eventually considered too old for. Michael had found his own path, but it was always linked to his father's. After decades of separate, hugely successful careers, the Douglas clan finally came together on screen in the 2003 film It Runs in the Family. The movie starred Kirk, Michael's son Cameron, and Michael's mother, Diana Douglas, 3 generations of a single family, playing a dysfunctional but loving family. The movie itself got mixed reviews, but its importance isn't about box office numbers. It's a cinematic family album. Watching Kirk and Michael on screen, you can feel the weight of their shared history. The arguments, the reconciliations, the deep love, it's all there, blurring the line between fiction and reality. When Kirk passed away in 2020 at the age of 103, Michael's tribute was profoundly moving. To the world, he was a legend, he wrote, but to me and my brothers, he was simply Dad. In what felt like a final chapter to their public story, it was reported Kirk left the bulk of his $61 million fortune not to his family, but to charity. Michael publicly supported the decision, understanding that his father's legacy was about more than money. It was about impact. The Douglas story is a powerful look at the complexities of a dynasty, the pressure, the pride, and the evolving bond between a father and son. Not all father-son stories are heavy dramas. Some are just hilarious. For our next duo, the on-screen chemistry wasn't about quiet understanding. It was about loud, loving, and perfectly timed frustration. We're talking about one of comedy's most beloved pairs, Jerry Stiller and Ben Stiller. Jerry Stiller was already a comedy icon twice over before ever sharing the screen with his son, first with his wife, Ann Mira, and later as the unforgettable Frank Costanza on Seinfeld. His comedy was built on an explosive frustration that was somehow always lovable. Ben Stiller, meanwhile, became a defining comedic voice of his own generation, starring in and directing hits like Zoolander and Tropic Thunder. Their on-screen collaborations felt like a natural extension of their real life. They appeared in 4 films together, most notably as father and son in the 2007 remake of The Heartbreak Kid. In that film, Jerry plays Ben's hilariously inappropriate and overbearing dad. Their scenes together are pure comedy gold, crackling with an energy that anyone with a parent can recognize. Jerry wasn't just playing a funny dad, he was playing Ben Stiller's dad. Ben once said, "My dad is so funny. Like, I've never ever thought I was funny like my dad." After Jerry's passing in 2020, Ben's tributes revealed the deep love beneath all the comedy. He explained that his father never tried to be funny, he would just be himself, and his genius came from his serious commitment to the absurdity of a character. That legacy is now taking on a new form. Ben Stiller is currently working on a personal documentary about his parents' legendary comedic partnership and their 6 one-year marriage. It's a son's ultimate tribute, using his own art form to understand and honor the one his parents mastered. It just goes to show that the Stillers' gift wasn't just making us laugh. It was a legacy of love and creativity, passed from one generation to the next. What happens when 2 acting titans, a father and son who built separate, legendary careers, finally decide to share the screen? For our final duo, it took 30 years to find the perfect project. But when they did, the result was a powerful and poignant story of forgiveness. This is the story of Donald and Kiefer Sutherland. Donald Sutherland, who sadly passed away in June 2024, was one of cinema's most versatile and respected actors, with a career stretching from MASH times to The Hunger Games. His son Kiefer became a star in his own right, defining an era of television as Jack Bauer in 24 and starring in films like The Lost Boys. But despite their long careers, they had never truly acted opposite one another. That all changed with the 2016 Western Forsaken. Kiefer plays a gunslinger who returns home to mend his relationship with his estranged father, the town reverend, played by Donald. The Western genre, steeped in themes of regret and the sins of the father, was the perfect setting for their first real collaboration. Kiefer admitted that working with his father was something he'd wanted to do for 3 decades, and both actors said they were incredibly nervous before their first scene together. That anxiety gave way to something special. The tension between the Reverend and his prodigal son feels heavy with unspoken history. When Donald's character looks at Kiefer's, the disappointment and deep-seated love you see is amplified by the reality of their relationship. As Kiefer told the Los Angeles Times, "I was not expecting how powerful it was going to be when I looked into my father's eyes." With Donald's passing, Forsaken now stands as a beautiful, final tribute, a cinematic record of 2 incredible actors, a father and a son, finally finding their way back to each other on screen. So what can we take away from these incredible duos? From the blockbuster success of the Smiths to the creative genius of the Levys, from the dynastic weight of the Douglases to the comedy of the Stillers and the poignancy of the Sutherlands, a clear pattern emerges. When a real-life father and son share the screen, they bring an invisible script with them, a lifetime of shared experiences that informs every glance, argument, and moment of connection. It's a chemistry you can't manufacture, and a history you can't fake. These collaborations pull back the curtain on Hollywood and reveal something deeply human, the complex, challenging, and powerful bond between a parent and a child. In a world of make-believe, their connection is the one thing that is undeniably real. And what is art, if not a reflection of life? In these cases, it's a beautiful reflection of family. If you enjoyed this look into Hollywood's family dynamics, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more. Now we have to ask, what other father-son duos have a must-see on-screen chemistry? Or maybe there's a mother-daughter pair you'd love to see us cover next. Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.